Kerbal Space Program. Zombies in Space. Episode 21. Out of Space and Onto the Ice. So, in our last episode, we got our Kerbal back into orbit. And now, still having some issues with the graphics here, but trying to get our Kerbal onto a trajectory that will bring him back to Kerbin, and hopefully bring him within the atmosphere, so that will help slow him down. Yikes. That's an interesting trajectory. Now, having said that, whoops, get him pointed in the right direction. And 11-second burn. Okay. Fire those engines. Get this thing going too fast. Okay. So we'll just have another burn to adjust things to make sure that he comes within the atmosphere. Sometimes the fine-tuning gets a little crazy. Yeah, at times it'd be nice if you just type in the numbers instead of pushing and pulling and dragging those things, and then you go too far and you have to go back the other way, and you go too far and you go back the other way. Anyway, Sidbo Kerman. Okay, so trying to set an alarm so that we don't blow by everything like we did in the distracted piloting videos or video. Yeah. And then I get the brilliant idea. It's like, hey, I might not have to take all of this fuel with me. So I start transferring fuel over. Or not all of the fuel, but all of the spacecraft, I should say. So I empty out some of the tanks. And fire my thrusters. Now we should be getting into Kerbin's atmosphere. And I can blow those parts of the craft away, decouple those, and hopefully, now that I'm on a trajectory to get into Kerbin's atmosphere, they will end up in the atmosphere too. No guarantee of that. Okay, bring in the solar panels, because we're going through the atmosphere. And from that angle it almost looked like we weren't coming back around, but we are. Although we're going fairly low into the atmosphere. Is it low enough to keep us from coming back? I don't know. Wow, 3 kilometers a second in the atmosphere. This is extreme. And the spacecraft is developing a little bit of a spin. And you can see the re-entry effects. Yikes. Don't stick your hand out the window. That would be very bad. You never know what these Kerbals are gonna do. Yeah, and so this orbit is drastically becoming more circular all the time. But considering where we are in the atmosphere, I'm not sure we're getting out. Less than 2.5 kilometers a second now for speed. And we definitely will not be leaving the atmosphere on this round. Just over 2 kilometers a second now. And since we'll be coming down, it would be good to land on something. So I decided it would be good to aim for that ice sheet. And try to get a maneuver set up to facilitate that. So get a general heading, point the craft in the right direction, and fire the engines. And the trajectory is slowly turning over. Very slowly. It would be cool if I landed on that little thing. I don't know if that's just an ice shelf or if that's really an island covered in ice. Because of course I have never landed there before. Multi-craft more simple 1. Interesting. Alright, this is the one that had the probes attached. And the video of me detaching the second and third probe didn't work, so you never got to see that. One I managed to land and I recovered it, and the other one broke when it landed, and so I left it there because I was thinking that if we ever have a Kerbin that, or Kerbal, that ends up, oh, here we go with the re-entry effects again. But anyway, if we ever have a Kerbal that ends up near the crashed craft, you can send them down there to recover the science, because the probe broke off the top of the spacecraft. So I could recover that, but figured I'd leave all the pieces there. It'd be easier to find it again if I ever end up with somebody nearby. Now it's looking a little questionable as to whether we're actually going to hit the ice. I mean, land on the ice. We don't want to hit the ice. That would be bad. We're going about 4 times the speed of sound. Well, below that. And we're coming in about 18 kilometers up. So we got the engines firing, we got the re-entry effects going. It's kind of an interesting situation. And the sun is shining. I'm not sure what time of year this is on Kerbin, and I don't know if it has a tilt similar to the Earth, because Sidbo could be ending up right in a location that's got, I was going to say 24 hours of sunlight right now, but as you can see, actually it's it looks like this side of it's in the darkness anyway. Although I see light, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Well, it appears to be on the edge of darkness. Let's put it that way. Well, we just might hit the ice sheet. Transfer fuel again. Transfer fuel again. Open up the parachutes. Oh yeah, we're 4 meters up. Well, less than 4 meters up. We're falling fast. Ditch those tanks and open the parachute. And whoa, something weird happened there. Coming down fast. So turn the engine on to slow us down some. Oh, and there's still debris laying there. We've got plenty of fuel left. And whoops, we landed and took off again. At least we didn't get too high. Otherwise, when we dropped the second time, it could have been disastrous. So extend the ladders, extend the solar panels, do some science. Sidbo has returned, but his job is not over. And hopefully this thing doesn't tip over and have parts of it blow up. That would be bad. It's kind of like when oh, here we go. Atmospheric pressure. Crew report from Kerbin's water. Interesting. Yeah, when I returned from Minimus that time and just about ended up on the slopes, that would have been really bad to lose all that science because there was a pile of it there. Okay. Walk a little ways. Oh, you can see the sun over there. Is it coming up or is it going down? Must be coming up. Plant the flag. And of course he puts it at a weird angle. Home from Minimus. Bring on nuke engines. Oh yeah, that was my goal. To get the nuclear engines. He scooped up his... Whoops, that was too quick. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary. Alright. Excuse me. Hey, there's Moon. There's Moon. Okay, publicity photo. Da-da-da. Dun-dun-dun. He has returned. Sidbo Kerman. Hero of the moment. Zombie of the week. I don't know. Anyway. Recover the vessel named Sidbo Kerman. Anyway, so I recovered everything. I did indeed have enough points to get the nuclear engine and actually 4 more stuff as well. There's actually quite a bit of science there. So, what else should I get? I get those probes. Yeah. It's nice to have unmanned probes that you don't have to... that you can actually stick things to both sides or both ends, because otherwise it's not much fun. So I can get other docking ports. Heavy drilling unit. I haven't done any of the kething and stuff. I don't know, maybe I won't yet, but the option is there. Stack connector. Or you can get these things. Fuel tank, lander can, the cupola, some fancy wheels. Okay, we'll get some fancy wheels. Hey, we've invented the wheel. Yeah. You think they could have figured that one out earlier, but no, we've invented the wheel. So you got some more points. Do I spend them or do I not? Do I? Of course, these engines would lead to some interesting lander designs and things, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if that engine body thing or whatever makes any kind of a difference. I really don't, but the nacelle, yeah. That other thing, I don't know. Don't know for sure. Okay, yeah, circular intake. See, now that I've actually started playing with jet engines. See, in the past I've tried to make rocket planes, but I never really tried jet planes. And so when I attached the jet engines to the rockets, that was really the first time I'd really used the jet engines. And I've been playing for pretty well a year, which is kind of a funny comment on the situation, but I'm much more into the rockets than the planes. My planes, well, rocket planes, were not very useful. And do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? Oh, supersonic flight. Okay, and that gives us a few other options, none of which we can actually purchase at this point. So, on that note, I guess that's basically the end of this episode. So, see you next time.